Bloxburg's community managers have a problem and I think someone needs to address it. Before I start this video though, I just want to give a quick disclaimer not to send any hate to the community managers. I think that they're probably one of the best, if not the best change for the Bloxburg community. They've done great things. I just think there's always room for improvement, and these are some things that I've noticed that they could be working on, I guess. So Coffee Stain purchased Bloxburg over a year and a half ago, and then they also added community managers just a couple months later in April 19th of 2023. They added Lil Mari, who was new to the Bloxburg community, and then they also added Bram P, who's been a Bloxburg tester for many years, I guess since Bloxburg release. Mari here said, "I'm thrilled to confirm that Bram P and I are the new community managers for Welcome to Bloxburg. We in the development team are preparing loads of exciting stuff and we can't wait to share it all with you." This message was pretty well received by everyone on Twitter and other social media platforms as well. This was a big change because the previous Bloxburg owners never really communicated to anyone in the community whenever there was stuff going on, or like when there was a problem or a bad update or a great update. They never really took feedback on anything, and it kind of just felt really dry from them. So it was nice to see there were people dedicated to talking to the Bloxburg community. So those two people went over and made the Hey Bloxburg Twitter account. This is the first ever official Bloxburg Twitter account. It now has over 100,000 followers, and they post fairly often. I'd say like a couple times a month, but pretty much ever since they took the role, they've had a pretty good or positive relationship with the Bloxburg community. But I think the money update, where they made it much harder to make or earn money on Bloxburg, really exposed a lot of the problems that the community managers are, I guess, facing. And I asked ChatGPT, what are the 3 fundamental rules of damage control in the context of public relations, which is the, I guess, area that the community managers are working in. The first one is acknowledge the issue. So let's say when this big money update happened, the entire community was mad. I can't name a single person that I saw that was not upset with this update. And people were definitely voicing their opinions. There was whole protests. There were other YouTubers that don't even play Bloxburg that were covering this issue. The update was released on April 25th, but they didn't release the hotfix until the day later, and they weren't responding to people during this time. Then people weren't pleased with this hotfix. They didn't really do anything. It didn't fix any of the problems or concerns that people had. It was kind of just restating what they already said. And then they didn't respond for another 2 weeks. On May 7th, they released this and they said, "Our economy was unbalanced, and to ensure the longevity of the game, it needed and will continue needing to be adjusted." So they pretty much just tripled down. That was what that message was. 2 weeks later, they didn't do this in a timely manner, and I feel like it was handled it was terrible. Like, it couldn't have been handled any worse in my opinion. Quickly acknowledge that there's a problem. Transparency is key. Trying to hide or ignore the issue often leads to some more or severe backlash. That's exactly what happened. And then admit mistakes, if any, and take responsibility where appropriate. I don't think they ever said sorry, I guess, because they weren't sorry. I guess that makes sense. If you're not sorry, don't say sorry. But like this, I don't know, it just should have never, the update should never have happened to begin with. I don't know why that was never brought up in conversation, or if it was to not implement this update. I don't know why that was never brought up, but I guess that's beyond us. The update's already over with. The next rule is to communicate clearly and honestly. Provide clear, honest, and consistent information to the public and stakeholders. In this case, I guess that would be just us players. And then offer factual details about what happened and the steps being taken to address the issue. I feel like this wasn't done either. I guess they were honest in everything they were doing, and I assume they weren't trying to lie or mislead us, but they weren't giving us any other information. We were kind of like left in the dark for 2 weeks, just made to assume that the Bloxburg just hated us, and that's why they made the update. I feel like they could have saved a lot of backlash. I know the community managers were talking about how they were receiving tons of personal backlash, which by all means is terrible. No one should be doing that. It's just a game at the end of the day. But I feel like all of that could have been saved if it was handled differently from like a community managing and communications like aspect of it. And I think they could have started by showing more why this was done rather than what was done. We all knew what happened. We all knew that it was harder to make money. They were trying to double down on saying like, oh, well, you only lost a certain specific amount of money. We wanted to know like why we were losing money, or why we were making less at our jobs, why the economy was unbalanced. What economy are you talking about? We wanted to know the details. And I feel like that would have saved a lot of the backlash and toxicity that went on in the Bloxburg community, and really severed a lot of the positive relationship with the community managers that was once there, that's no longer there, and they'll have to rebuild because of this situation. The last thing on here says take corrective action, and this pretty much means issue a public apology, give compensation, or change policy. I guess that would be like change the update. That wasn't really done. They did the hotfix, but again, that didn't really fix anything. And after this, they kind of just ignored it. They posted a video like quadrupling down pretty much on the update, and that didn't obviously help anything. People were still upset. They're still upset to this day, but they kind of just are glazing over the update. So I think they're going to need to do some things to fix that relationship, the positive relationship that they once had with the Bloxburg community. Now, there are some other things that I've noticed with the Bloxburg community managers that they could be doing to like better the relationship with the community, so I guess I'll just run through those real quick. Posts on the Bloxburg Twitter account are simply just not frequent enough. I don't know what they do as community managers outside of talking to the actual community, because most of their work doesn't seem to be public. I know they're not just sitting in an office. I'm sure they're doing hard work outside of the public eye that we can't see and that they're not getting appreciation for. But from the public's view, I guess, I feel like they don't really do very much. All they do is post like a leak or two, like the week upcoming to an update. But other than that, there's a big period in between each update where they don't really post very much. Maybe they'll post one or two things, just random videos, but I think they could be doing a lot more, and it's not that hard. If you all remember when Coeptus used to pretty much do the community managing himself while he ran the game, he made this very simple poll. He was like, in the upcoming Halloween update, the Bloxburg rash will change to a seasonal color. How should it look? And he gave us 3 options. He put the pictures down here, and then he asked us and let us vote, and we chose option 3, and that was what was implemented into the game. That let 20,000 people feel like they were a part of the community, feel like they were actually doing something or had an impact. And I feel like if they were to do something like this, for the people that feel as though they're being ignored by the Bloxburg developers or community managers, this would sort of give them that voice back. Things like this. It doesn't have to be just this poll, but like, what do you want added to the map? Do you want a school or do you want a hospital? And we can vote on that. Or just simple polls. It's really not that hard. It's just a simple poll. Now, I don't know if they have the infrastructure to do this, but I know Bram makes videos on YouTube. I think it would be really cool if on the actual Bloxburg official YouTube channel, which they have. Here it is. I think they should be posting like videos more often, and I think they should also do live streams. Maybe they could literally just play Bloxburg with community members and have the Bloxburg community all get together and just have a fun time playing Bloxburg together. They could do live streams answering questions or doing a Q&A, asking about how Bloxburg is developed. Or they could literally do like staff spotlights. They could have Froggy Hops, for example, one of the old developers, but I think he still does work on the game. They could have a video, like a 2-minute video dedicated to him, pretty much just explaining what he does for Coffee Stain or for Bloxburg and like his favorite thing about the company. I don't know, they could literally put anything in the video, but it sort of puts a person behind these developers that people are saying these horrible things about, and I think it'll make the connection more personal, if that makes sense, and people will just be less toxic. The last thing was update review videos. I know they made one for the job system, but that was only after tons of pressure from the community. But I think after each update, they should go and make a video. They can post it on Twitter, clips on TikTok, and then they can also post the main video here on YouTube. Just pretty much like explaining the update, what it was, why the update is the update, why it's a thing, I guess, why they implemented it, or like special secrets about the update, literally anything really. Doing this is kind of like will help to prevent a PR disaster like the money update from happening in the future, and I think that would be very helpful for the community. I don't know how plausible all of these ideas are, but I hope that some of them may be implemented into the game in the future and that the community's relationship sort of starts to heal. Again, I was trying to be constructive with all my criticism. Please don't go send hate to the community managers. They're honestly great people. I talk to them on like, I guess, Twitter and stuff all the time, so they're not bad people. They're trying their best, but I think these are just some things that they could improve on. So hopefully we do see some improvement in the coming months. But that's all for today's video. I hope you all did enjoy. If you did, please be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. And with that, I will see you all in the next one.